is going to be, do they choose to actually go full AD as they hover over Renekton? They do need to make this fight composition a little stronger, and it looks like a very strong team composed of all AD champions.
Yep, we saw Gambit Gaming using this against both the Azubus and Intel Extreme Masters Katowice, using the armor shield that Renekton has stacked up, which is a Black Cleaver, even a Last Whisper. Then have 0 armor to you, basically, so you can just tear through them one by one. But it all really comes down to how well can Renekton play in lane. He's obviously one of the strongest pre-6 top laners, or solo laners, I'll say. But if you have a bad start, you pretty much just fall off through the entire game, and you basically just build straight tank and just... The only benefit you give to your team is an armor shred, which we did see Darian do. He didn't really build much damage. He just built that straight tankiness.
It looks like, I don't know, I'd say Cade may want to pull out a lane swap here as well. It's going to be better to sustain, actually, to push back on Elise. Varus and Lulu is a heavy poke lane, though. I don't know if Mylon would really want to set himself up for that lane.
Yeah, he'd have a lot easier time against that Elise. He can just get in there with, obviously, the slice and dice. But Riv, you look at the two team compositions, who do you think has a stronger team?
A stronger team right off the bat is Cade in the beginning of the game. The damage they're bringing to the table is bursty at its earliest levels. And then once it gets to that 5-on-5, or rather 5-item team, I should say, not 5-on-5, is when they're actually going to be able to fight back and forth at that even level. But for those first few levels, it's that Xin in the jungle. He's so strong, and I actually expect to see an invasion from that team. But if it goes into that late game, the reset from Kha'Zix, the mobility of Elise, the mobility of Nocturne, and the Lulu ultimate can really disengage and re-engage these fights for LGIM, and they know how to fight perfectly, so they can do that whether they want to or not.
Yeah, not to mention the Varus ultimate mixed in with Lulu. Like, if you knock them up and you pop that Varus ultimate onto them, they're slow. They're obviously going to have a hard time trying to get out of, or to actually release the range of his ultimate. Yeah, going to be quite interesting because they have so much damage on their team. Like you're saying, they can burst someone and just evaporate them from the entire field if they want to. But with this ping, obviously going to be a little bit of a factor, but LGIM showed last game just how well they can play with this.
Okay, so LGIM currently 81% over 19% in the betting. You guys seem to think you know where the winner's going. It's going to be LGIM, according to you guys. We're about to find out. Match 3 is about to get underway at the Intel Extreme Masters in Brazil. It's time to go over to your commentary team, both in Brazilian and, of course, in English.
Thanks a lot, guys. I'm here with Freak. My name, of course, is Joe Miller, a very ill Joe Miller. I'm getting progressively worse through the day. I'm not sure whether it's just because it got more humid after the rain now or what, but it's kind of catching up on me.
You look better than yesterday, though.
I do.
You look better than yesterday.
Tomorrow I'll look better again.
Yeah, I don't think that's possible. You're pretty much at the pinnacle of human attractiveness.
Oh, that's sweet of you.
You're welcome.
To get into the game, Freak.
It's backwards day.
It's backwards. It's backwards day. Great. So to get into the game, thanks for that one.
You're welcome.
Who do you favour? We heard there that Rivington said Cade are going to be stronger at the early levels than LGIM. Yeah. What do you think? How do you think this game's all going to pan out?
It's going to pan out very interestingly because Cade is already looking for a very cheeky invade. He's going to spot Paragon right here. Hits the Mystic Shot. He knows he's there. They just don't have any crowd control to follow up. Unfortunately, that wasn't a Flash Frost. The Mystic Shot that shot out there. But so yes, what Riv said about the early game is very, very true. Cade is going to have pretty strong lanes. They should have a pretty good job of this invade as well. There's not a whole lot that Incredible Miracle can do to stop them. However, the Incredible Miracle team fight lineup is pretty crazy because Elise, Nocturne, and Kha'Zix are really good at diving, and Lulu is probably the best support for any all-in bruisers. So you can actually use them as the focal point for her abilities, and so Lulu's going to be... They basically got 4 guys there who are going to be really, really good at diving in there and killing things. What surprises me is that Paragon here is playing Varus, because Varus is a fairly unsafe AD carry. He's, unlike Ezreal or Caitlyn, who are going to sit in the back and be able to kite. He's going to be kind of on his own devices, so I'm interested to see how he pans out in fights.
And what about the lane switches that we may well see coming in here? Do you expect anything on that front?
I was expecting to see Renekton not fight Elise. I don't think that's the easiest matchup for him. Being fully melee guarantees you're going to take damage from her. And up until you get a lot of damage out, but you can't just wave clear and then leave the lane over and over. You've got to actually sit there and kind of tough out her damage. So I don't see that top lane going very well for Cade, but I do see the mid lane being pretty okay for them.
Well, we've seen blue buff going over early on to Volcan, obviously on that Xin Xiao, and the red buff being picked up by Ring from the start. Wow, that is very early aggression. We talk about now how much of a difference it can make in those lanes when you get that level advantage over your opponent.
And that's going to be a very, very important thing here. You can see them getting very close to level 2 here. they're going to be pretty tied up, but you can see they're actually pushing the wave down. They're actually shoving the minions down, putting as many auto attacks down as possible because they want to hit level 2 first and then shove them out of lane before Sona hits level 2. Now that she's actually leaving lane and not in experience range for minions to put the ward down, she's going to be even farther behind, and they have the opportunity right here to put on a lot of pressure. And there they go.
Here we go then, auto attacks coming out on towards Raffas. Are they going to be able to finish him off? Actually flash away there by Sona. They are going to go in on towards Raffas. He will actually back away from that one. Still needs to watch out though. He's stacked up with that blight. Obviously the cooldowns at level 2 not going to be enough to pop that one, but already we're seeing that this LGIM bottom lane is looking to play a very aggressive game style.
Yep, and up until Sona hits level 2, they are going to be completely zoned. Ezreal, he went Doran's Blade and no potions. He cannot sustain until he actually auto-attacks something. Sona cannot sustain until she gains some experience, which will be on this turret, but up until then, they are missing out on gold.
Yep, and they're going to keep pushing up through in this middle lane. They are both now up at level 3, as you can see Jace there just knocking Mid King back. It was at level 2, as soon as the Mid King hit level 2, he jumped straight in there onto Snowballing, who was still level 1, caused him a bit of a problem. And
there you can see just him standing back up, that flash from those potions, but here comes the gank out of Mid King. Nice leap by him. And that's a really good patience by him because very early on he used that leap aggressively and looked for kills, and now they didn't know Sinjao could go for ganks. He's going to play more passive.
Oh, Nocturne may just get caught out here, though. Actually, will casually just saunter away from this one, but he's going to be chased down here by Vulcan. Is he going to be able to escape or flash away? Vulcan flashes in. The Fear will actually send him away, but they're going to get the kill. Are they going to get the kill? Yes, they are, just about. Jace picks it up. Mid King going to turn around now onto Snow. Oh. He'll get a double buff back, and will he be able to chase the kill? He's got a level advantage here on Vulcan.
I think he can. He's going to keep moving on here. That red buff is there. He flashes for it, and that is a double kill there. Mid King, nice play.
Bad times coming out when that Kha'Zix, who we've talked about over the last couple of days, he's definitely not been as highly contested as we saw at Intel Extreme Masters Katowice and at the LCS, but this is the reason why Kha'Zix is, or probably should be, that highly contested champion.
He got a lot of that isolation damage from that Q. It's very, very important for him. The poke of the bottom lane is pretty brutal here, really. But yeah, when you get into those sort of extended jungle fights and he gets that isolation damage on you, you start to fall over rather quickly, and you saw that right there. The damage output quite immense.
And in the top lane, actually Renekton doing a good job against Lilac there. We'll see how that long actually lasts. Lilac actually being forced to pop a good couple of pots in there, and you see again Mylon going in. He's actually going to ignite, will get stunned up. Is he going to be able to escape? There's the repel, and Mylon looks like he's going down, and just as I say he's doing well, I give him the curse.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, he had opened the lane with I believe 9 potions and 2 wards, and he was down about 4 potions with that one in, but here comes Vulcan looking for a gank.
Let's see if he can actually do anything with this one. He's got full HP. Exhaust is down on the Nocturne. The Fear was good, but it's not enough. Luke will actually take the kill away.
That was really, really nicely done right there. Good gank. That lane playing aggressively over and over. And with Lash actually forced out, I'm surprised Incredible Miracle even stayed in there that long, because that was a very easy gank. Nicely performed there by Cade, but that was quite the overextension.
And again, showing that in terms of kills, these Brazilian teams certainly have what it takes to, stand and bang with the best in the world. But we've seen it over and over this tournament that finishing is the real problem. Getting those global objectives, that's been the real hindrance that these Brazilian teams have suffered. And I think that's an experience thing, Freak.
It is.
These other teams, they're playing weekly, if not, well, probably daily against other amazing teams, the European scene, the NA scene. But the Brazilians just don't have access to that kind of range of experience to go at.
They do have a sort of smaller pool of champions to play. Or oh my gosh! Would you look at that damage from Mid King? He's stealthed in.
Oh, knocked away there, but is he going to get away? No, he's not going to get away. Nicely finished off, and that is Mid King now 3-0-0. And Jace is probably going to have to think about going somewhere else, because he's not going to be able to farm up well against Mid King now.
It's not going to get any better for him. He's going to have to sit in the back and try to farm his Shock Blast at this point, because that sort of situation will repeat itself. Mid King can pretty much one-shot the ranged minion line with that evolved Void Spike and get that isolation damage again and again and again and again. And that's going to sort of keep happening here unless he does something different.
Look at Vulcan. Yeah, it's great to jump in there and try and force Mid King away, and then you realize actually you're 3 levels behind and he's got a double buff, which is the point where you say, oh, well, I probably should just escape from that one, because you're not going to be able to stand and bang with his Kazakhs, who actually now may have a chance to get in on Vulcan. He's actually going to let him go out. The jump wasn't the best, but they've got Ring coming around this side. Can Vulcan get away? He's going to be ignited up. Where's the fear going to send him? It doesn't even matter, because again, the void spikes of Mid King absolutely obliterate him.
This is that damage output is ludicrous from him. He's up, their team is up 1,600 gold. Ring is going to like walk right into that camp, and with no support whatsoever, just says, "Yeah, I'm going to take your golden buff. We know you can't stop me." And as I say that, of course, here comes these two.
Yeah, bottom lane actually headed up here, but look at Ring. He is going straight in there for Ezreal, force him to arcane shift over the wall and get away to safety. And that is just the sheer brutality of and the confidence of these Korean players. With that bottom lane there coming up, yes, they might have not been able to keep him alive in time, but he was going to damn well make sure that he put his damage down to make sure that bottom lane could get something after.
And that's really wise, right? They kind of watched for when Sona and Ezreal left the lane. You saw Lulu and Varus just come right back up after them and said, if you stay and fight, it's a 3-on-2. You won't kill Nocturne in time, forcing him away. Very, very smart move. Good coordination overall. That's actually just super important, is whenever you go for a jungle invade, pull the nearby lanes to help you as soon as you see the opposition move around, because generally speaking, you invade when you have a numbers advantage, but you need to pull your lanes to make sure that advantage stays there.
Right now, it's over a 2,000 gold lead, 5-2 in kills. No turrets up until now. We can see that bottom lane again. He is being pressured, and actually Luke may be in a little bit of trouble here. Will be able to get himself out of danger, but these wards in the rushes, for Varus in particular, well, he's skilled 3 points in piercing arrow. He needs to have that vision in the bush to make each one of those arrows count.
And exactly what those wards are for, of course. He's been able to poke that lane out so very well. And, Riv called it in the very beginning that when you grab Lulu, Sona is the likely support to put against that, because you need it sustained to deal with all the crazy poke that this Varus Lulu lane can put out. And when you look at that, they're only down 5 minions. They've got a kill in the lane. They're only down 5 minions. Ooh, that crescendo missed.
Well, the crescendo did miss, but we will see the Ezreal ultimate coming out there onto Lasher, but Paragon is hammering away on Luke. He's going to miss his Q, but it won't matter. An auto attack to finish off. Raffles actually has no mana remaining here, and Lasher putting down the ultimate on himself will keep himself alive. Another great play out of LGIM.
That was absolutely great. And the ultimate coming out, that Tendril of Corruption as well, was required there. At the very end, you saw Lulu just out of range.
In this top lane, actually, we are seeing the gank coming down on towards Mylon. How do you escape from Mid King? You pop your ultimate, but it just doesn't matter. He's 4-0-1. Lilac getting himself now up to 2-0 as a result of this one. This is just snowballing out of control.
And speaking of Snow, Snow is going for a little bit of damage there in the mid lane. Ring not quite taking enough damage to go away. Did have to push himself back. Riv leans over and smiles like, nice job. Jason Kaplan, I give lessons.
Well, Jason, I'm coming for you on Jason's level. I don't know. Ring's going to have to back away from this. Ooh, the shock blast going through, not quite got the range. Now Lash is coming in to help out with this one. And we can see Cade just saying, well, we don't want a piece of that one. If you look at the levels here, like level 9 Kazakhs to level 7 Jace, there's no one that can really compete with these Kazakhs. I mean, Renekton is the closest at level 8, and we just saw in that last one with Elise there to help lock him down. The single W coming out there onto Snowles, and he's down to half HP.
He's in an incredibly good situation, and Snowles is building so squishy. He's got nothing in armor or health in his build so far. He's about a couple thousand gold into his build, 2,700, about 2,000 really in his items right now, and nothing helps him survive that lane. And that's kind of the problem, is he had the really bad level 1 or level 2 where Mid King shoved the lane, then leap Q'd and got him down to half, used all his potions, went back in, kept fighting. Now Mid King's so far ahead in items, he just is going to be that bully. When you let an assassin get ahead of you in lane, there's not easy coming back.
Yep, and again, down in this bottom lane to counter those wards in the vision. We've seen pink wards being put down by Cade, but again, the piercing arrow. It's almost half of his health there gone, Ezreal. He just can't stay with him. Again, he's a level behind. We've got the Vamp Scepter, Doran's Blade for both players with those boots as well, but Sona's literally just having to heal throughout this entire time, as we are going to see once again Snowles in the middle, gets ignited up, flashing from Mid King. It just looks like someone playing against me.
Oh, and in the bottom lane, another kill coming up there. Nice pickup there. Again, that Tendril of Corruption, just so very good. Chain of Corruption, I should say, is doing a heck of a lot of damage, rooting them in place, and the team just follows up. Crescendo, of course, not enough for those. And this is what LGIM is doing, is they are just going in for kills in that bottom lane. He's a source of crowd control. That's what he's for. It's not about the team fight. It's about winning their lanes so hard, because he'll just CC you, be able to land the piercing arrow, play from far back if he needs to, and just your team just takes so much damage from him.
And right now, the only one with a kill well, I say the only one, Sona, as well as the Jace. Jace actually going double longsword once again, so no direct protection for him again in that lane, as we see Dragon being done by Incredible Miracle. And that's going to be obviously for free. And that puts them now 6,500 gold in the lead after 12 minutes. This is not looking good whatsoever for Cade in this tournament. I mean, they've already lost game number 1. Losing this would pretty much mean now it's all but mathematically impossible for them to go through.
There's a very, very low chance for them. I think they need a very fast... This game looks to be completely in Incredible Miracle's hands, so assuming that they do win this one, Cade needs to have an extremely fast win against the Nexus, and I believe that... actually, I can't math out the rest of the matches, but basically I think they need to look for a three-way tie at 1-2 and turn that one around there.
Yeah, and that's the dangerous part, because the Nexus managed to stretch that game against LGM quite long, considering how one-sided it was, which means in the grand scheme of things, Cade have to do the same here, but I just don't see it happening right now.
Well, we'll see. Right now, they've got a rough time in front of them. However, that said, there's not amazing game-ending potential from LGIM. They don't have the same comp as last time, where Jace was just destroying everyone. Mid King playing Jace and just doing so much damage from long range. Here, they're much more all-in. It is harder to dive towers here from LGIM, so I feel like even if they're farther ahead than they were in their first game of the day, closing the game out will be more difficult.
Well, we can see that the lane's being pushed up. 2 out of the 3 outer turrets are down. Blue buff is available, and we can see they're coming in. They actually will be smited away there by Vulcan, not wanting to risk that anymore. There's the rest of the team coming around. Pink ward put down as well by that blue buff, so that gives them vision. I say pink ward, it was actually the Oracle on top of Lash's head that I missed up for that pink ward. But either way, same principle. They're clearing out the wards on that top side of the jungle, which is another important part of pushing turrets, getting control and vision of the enemy's side of the map.
And this is very cohesive. What LGIM is doing is, they have a fairly early mid-game focused team. It's a lot of I should say mid-game focused team. It's a lot of assassination power, a lot of all-in, a lot of ability to kill off single targets very, very quickly. And they've said, okay, 14 minutes in, we've got a bit of a lead. Let's grab the oracles. Let's starve all the map vision, and let's start pushing. If someone moves around to try to flank us or moves around to defend the turret, we'll see him coming. We can jump on him, pick up that kill. And a 5-on-4, even if we're not a long-range team, a 5-on-4 is a turret.
And we can see Mid King again just going around. Void Spike straight into the middle of the team. Rafa's taking a load of damage, and you've got the piercing arrow coming out of Varus. The poke is certainly there, actually. I mean,
yeah,
yes,
you're right.
It comes from the other side as well, but it's definitely there from LGIM. It's
the max piercing arrow of Varus, which is, to my knowledge, not the normal build for Varus, who's doing that for the poke power. And with Kha'Zix being this fed, you're darn right, Void Spike's quite a good poke here.
Yeah, and the actual spread of them as well is incredibly dangerous. Like, oh, we're behind the tower. Yes, piercing arrow. You've got to dodge left and right. You're not dodging Void Spikes.
Yeah, if you thought Mid King was hitting with really good accuracy in the first game as Jace, wait till you see him have 3 times the chance of hitting people.
Yeah. And right now, Mylon may be under pressure in this top lane. Actually, he's going to go in towards Lilac, but here comes Mid King, and he is going down. Lilac not even going to suffer too much of a problem with that one. And Mid King, and he's out of mana, which I think if he wasn't out of mana, he might have gone in for that one. Jace actually trying there from the side, not quite able to finish off Lilac.
I really like that Mid King came to the top lane to support his Spider Queen and make sure she didn't go down. That's very good chivalry there.
God. You sure you're getting better than Jason?
That was a quality pun. I don't know what you're talking about.
You guys are spending far too much time together after the shows.
That might be true.
So let's have a look at the big picture here. 25, let's call it 26,000 gold to 18.3 thousand. 3-0 in turrets, 10-2 in kills. 6-0-1 Kha'Zix, which is the big thing here. He's got Bloodthirster, he's got Brutalizer, he's got the tier plus a longsword in there. He's pretty much destroying things right now. Jace, who has really been the one that's been destroyed, at least in the lane, is 1-3-0. He's got a Brutalizer in the tier to his name, which you don't have to be a genius to work out that 1v1 is not an option.
No, not for anyone on this team whatsoever. And I actually got to hand it to Mid King for a great sort of build adaptation. So we know Muramana is a very common pick for Kha'Zix, and oftentimes, and actually in the very first game we saw him, he actually would rush the Tear of the Goddess to get that item out sooner. In this case, he actually went Bloodthirster and Brutalizer before he even picked up Tear of the Goddess, and that allowed him to really snowball his early game lead, because you need some time to stack up Tear of the Goddess. You don't get much damage out of it for a while, and instead here he went attack damage, armor penetration, more attack damage, and then said, okay, now that we've crushed at this mid-game point, I'll start advancing my build in some other directions.
We can see LGIM here pushing that middle turret out there in the top side of the Cade jungle. They're taking away literally everything that they can get their hands on here. The Oracle is going to be, if you attack move in the bush at least, going to be clearing out all the vision that the Brazilian side have actually got on this side of the map, and just overall not looking too promising for Cade.
No, this is going to be another attempted push to try to get another turret down right here. A little bit of punishment on the Lilac, but I don't see him going down here by any means. Got a Glacial Shroud as well, and Mylon not in a good place.
Yeah, he's actually going to have to back away from this one, I think, because we are going to see Nocturne diving in, go straight in on towards the support. There's the Lulu ultimate. They're right in the middle. Finally, Kha'Zix gets shut down. Cade aren't doing a bad job here. They've managed to actually get 3. Can they get any more from it? Lilac going very, very low. Acceleration gate means he won't escape. Double kill for Ezreal. It was only Varus that got away. Incredible turnaround.
That was a beautiful fight. And you can just hear, I'm hoping you can hear the Brazilians just going mental in the background. The roar as they picked up kills was a little haunting almost. That was quite incredible. And this is exactly the move you want to see from Cade. Look at that. They pick up the kills. Immediately they turn to look for a major advantage. I think they had the chance to go for Baron, but 2 turrets actually is more gold than they would have gotten from Baron, which is probably a better comeback mechanic for them.
Yep, we will take that one in a turret, and well, it's the start for them. Oh, Varus coming in here. This could be bad for Luke. Not sure if he's going to be able to escape this one out. Piercing Arrow actually not quite connecting there. He needs one more auto attack. The Ignite will actually finish it for him. Now he's on towards Mylon, who can slice and dice out with that acceleration gate to stay safe.
That was a really silly recall from Loop. He did not need to be so close to the enemy territory when he recalled there. So a bit of a mistake on his part, and that actually gives Incredible Miracle the chance to go for Baron on this one. Look at them go in.
Yeah, and you know, when that kind of fight happens and you lose so heavily, these Korean teams are, in my opinion, going to be one of the best outfits at saying, wow, that went really bad for us. How do we change it? And next time around, they nail it back on the other side. But we'll have to see. Baron very, very low here. Can they steal it away? Yes, they did. They stole it. Vulcan stolen the barrel here. And Baron is going to go down in the end. But what are LGIM going to do about this one? It looks like they're backing off. And my God, can you believe it? They take 4 kills out of the last fight. Then they steal a Baron.
I'm just going to let them talk for me. The chanting, the cheering. I mean, LGIM crushed the heck out of their first game, and Cade was 0-1 in this group, and this game just got close. That's quite the feat. That is an amazing set of plays right there. You know, the prior team fight back at the top of the map by the Lizard buff, it went a little bit bad for LGIM. They dove in a little bit too early. The Nocturne to Lulu initiation was really strong. They got the knock-up, but a beautiful crescendo. And actually, that prior fight, I have to say, I mean, this is 2 minutes in the past, but Vulcan on Xin Zhao won that fight for his team because Nocturne went in, and his Crescent Sweep knocked everyone else away. So suddenly Ring is 1v5ing and just got dunked on. And then they tried to limp back in and couldn't do it. Very, very good fight from Cade back in the day. Amazing, amazing Baron steal. And they've got, though they're down in gold, I think they have the map control to start taking another turret here, and I think they can get this gold lead even closer.
12 minutes ago, we were talking about how Cade need to hold on to this one for as long as they possibly can. Now, are we talking about them being able to turn this one around? They are still behind. They're 4-2 in turrets, 13-6 in kills. This Kha'Zix has fed. We saw how quickly he was taken down in that last fight, though.
Yes.
Freak, how much of a chance do they have in this one with that Baron pickup, with that 4-man takedown? How much has that helped them get back in this match?
I think they have a real chance here because they finally got some real items on their champions. Look at Ezreal, 2-0-3, Bloodthirster Static Shiv. He is the richest member on his team and is actually about caught up with most people on Incredible Miracle. The thing that helps him a lot, actually, is that Mid King has built only damage, and he's still trying to finish out some damage items. So he is killable in a team fight.
Look at this, they're not finished, they're going in for it. Mylon is going to come down, the ultimate comes out of Varus, but Paragon is in a lot of danger. Nocturne going to come around, the crescendo completely whipped. Lasher will die though, that is the first kill for them. They're going to back away and take themselves a Nocturne kill. It flashes, it wasn't enough, and now they may even try for some more turrets. Amazing.
We'll see if Renekton can get any dashes. He's got a 1 second till he can slice and dice forward. Looks like he's not quite going to find Varus, but they're reasonably healthy, have Baron, and have Sona. We're going to see if they can out-sustain the poke from Kha'Zix.
Yep, Kazakh's there coming in from the side, and I think instantly Cade were like, whoa, he's still very, very painful for us at this stage. And that's going to be one thing that causes them problems, but Jace can return that favor there with the shock blast. And the question is, who has got the stronger poke here? And, well, the other problem is the LGIM have now respawned quite a few men, and you can see that Cade, realizing that, decided to back right off.
And actually a small mistake here from Cade, because if they had more vision on the map, more knowledge of what was available, they could have stolen away the lizard buff down here and could have said, screw that lane, and just like backdoored bottom or maybe even backdoored top, because they have some real tanks. They have durable guys and they have damage output. Playing poke war against Kazakhs is not going to be available for them very easily. That's going to be kind of the key here. If they can kill King, then they can actually push through and start taking down structures. If he's alive, his poke will really, really wave clear and really hurt Cade's health bars. So, mid King needs to go away from him to siege very well, or they need to sort of find backdoors out of nowhere.
Where is the targeting going to come down from Cade's point of view on this one? Is it that Kazakhs, I mean, he's the most fed in the team, he's putting out the most damage. Is that their prime target? If
they can get him, yes. He has to go into melee range to do anything major. He might sit in the back, use W, wait around, and wait for cooldowns to go down. But basically, Vulcan, he's going to be really, really tanky. Milan's going to be really, really tanky. They can actually get in on squishy targets and start to really ruin days. And there's no easy all-in here from LGIM. They have to use mid-king to do that.
Oh, Lilac could have possibly got caught out there. Actually, he's going to rappel down right into the middle of them. The ultimate did come out of Varus to slow that push, and I'm wondering if LGIM are wanting to turn this one around. They've got Nocturne and Kazakhs both coming in from the backside of them. They're still pushing through here. The acceleration gate will get them a bit further away, but Lilac is not finished yet. He's going and going. Snow's down to just above half HP, but LGIM quite happy to say, okay, we've forced them away. Let's get some vision down on the map.
Cade can fight here, though. They're in pretty good position. They've got all their ultimates and cooldowns up, which is really the important thing. When you saw that Elise got caught, a Lilac there, Sona actually saved Crescendo and said, nah, you're a tank, you've got a Glacial Shroud, you've almost got the rest of Frozen Heart here, you've got a Warmogs. I'm not going to blow Crescendo on just you, it's not worth it. You can see their wave clear is amazing, they're not easily getting sieged out. Cade getting that last turn of events, getting only within 5,000 gold, they're able to withstand this push, and if they get the right engage, they could win another team fight.
Within 5,000 gold sounds ridiculous after, we were looking at an 8-minute start to the game. Was so one-sided in favor of LGIM, but now Cade doing a fantastic job of holding this one in. Vulcan, he's going to get cocooned there, but they're not able to quite lock him down. Mid-King still doing a good job with those Void Spikes of putting down as much damage as he can. There's a pressure back. Is Vulcan going to go for this one? Slowed down, but he's going in. Lasher under pressure. He's got the flash. He actually got knocked up there just as he got over the top. And Ring may well be the sacrificial lamb. Lasher goes down. Paragon goes down. Kazakhs is still alive, but for how long he's burning? He goes down. It's going to be 4 men taken out. Where is Lilac? He's right in there. Surely this is going to be an ace. They flashed over the top. Ezreal manages to dodge. The cocoon will land. Ezreal ultimate comes down. Where is the slice and dice that Mylon needs? It's coming up pretty soon.
3 seconds.
Will Lilac be able to escape this one? He's the last man left alive here for
She has
LGIM.
repel. She can go to the Wraith camp if they chase. She's safe right now. But they picked up a 4-for-1. Baron, if you can check the timer for that one, not up yet, but should be fairly soon, actually. And they have the champions to kill Baron. Instead, they're going to back right away, knowing they don't want to get the counterattack Baron. Unfortunately, 4K did not get a single major objective off that team fight, but did throw that lead down to 3,500.
I'd love to give you the time, but we don't have time stamps.
That's okay. We'll get the next one.
We'll fix that for next game.
Okay.
We'll get the next one.
Okay. But it is very soon. It's within 30 seconds of now, which is why they recalled. And you can see them all running to the left of the map. Both these teams know that's next. Paragon's going to run up. And, yep, there's the pings coming out. You can see that on the minimap. Cade is pinging this. They know this is the next major objective. And such perfect timing here. Lizard buff is up for Rafis, which is huge.
And right now, the ward's going down onto the top of that Baron. It's in its position. Actually, Lilac is headed back home right now, which could give them an opportunity, but the vision for both teams not quite high enough to be safe. Peace of mind is just not there for either of these teams right now. We can see that LGIM don't really have any vision over on the red side of the map, and the same goes for Cade on the blue side of the map. So there's no real control of that Baron, and that's going to have to happen soon.
Now the only thing that's really there is the one pink ward, which at least gives Cade peace of mind. The only reason they're able to go for this blue buff right here is because they know that Incredible Miracle are not going for that themselves. However, if they send anyone else but Ezreal to this bottom lane, they give that as an availability, and here they go. LGM's going to start. They might get stopped in time, but it's going to be close.
It's going to need to be a steal at this point. The acceleration gate's helping everyone out. Here comes the Ezreal ultimate. They have vision already. What can they do? Can they get in there for the steal once again? LGIM are still doing the Baron. They're going to go in there.
Oh my God!
Steal it! 2 steals in 1 game. Amazing from Cade. Luke is going to try and get away from this one. It won't work out for him. But Cade are not doing too well in the fight that ensues. Kazik's already got 2. We see Milo diving into Paragon. He picks that up. But here come Rappers and Snowballing. Can they mop up? They've managed to get themselves 1. There is Elise right down on top of them. The acceleration gate. Oh my God, freak. And then made 2 steals. I can't believe it.
Oh my gosh, that is loud.
It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. Well,
I'm speechless. I'm sitting there like jaw open. I have no words. Cade, you found a couple of 10,000 new fans. You found thousands of new fans because, dang, some of these fights, quite good for you guys. And it looked so difficult too. Renekton failed to slice and dice over the wall. Xin Zhao was not in range, had no flash. The only thing they could have done was the accelerated shock blast from Snulls. And at the beginning, I said, you know, he's only itemizing damage. He's going to be frail in this lane. It's going to be difficult for him to survive mid-king. But that damage he itemized, he's now 6-4 and 8. The damage he had allowed him to steal away Baron. And it looked so bleak at the beginning. Yeah, they stole Baron, but 1-2 kills went right away in LGIM's favor. But Mylon dove right in, killed off Paragon, and that was something I brought up that might have been a difficult thing for LGIM. They want to all in, but how are they going to keep Paragon safe? They couldn't. He got dropped, and now you're kind of seeing that come out here. Yes, Mid-King's going to be incredibly powerful. He's got a lot of damage, but what's their fallback plan if they can't win by all-inning?
well, we've just seen there. I mean, that fight was going well for LGIM until Snowballing and Rappers actually joined properly into that fight right at the end there.
Yep.
And it's just a clean-up mission. They were full HP, and you just can't afford it. I mean, like you said, Paragon actually put his ultimate down on the first 3 men that were there, which is like the 2 that are doing the real damage weren't even part of that attack. So he had nothing to survive with by the end. And Elise obviously suffering the same fate. Cade going to go home. And how much money have they got? Actually, not that much. They went back earlier on.
Now, here's going to be the real test, though, for Cade, is we've seen this time and again. The Brazilian teams can make these games neck and neck. They can get some brutally close games in this tournament. We have not yet seen them close out a game successfully, except against another Brazilian team. And that's going to be the real difficulty here. Cade has Baron. Cade is basically winning this game. They gave up Dragon. They haven't killed another turret. They haven't gotten a whole heck of a lot done for themselves. They're going right back down mid lane trying to get an inhibitor, but there's outer turrets all over the map available for them. You saw them right at the front door of top lane, and they 5-man recalled because, hold on, they might be looking at mid.
Spend.
Exactly. And so this is actually the difficulty, is can Cade close this out? Their Baron steals have been great. Their team fights have been awesome. Can they actually strategically win a game?
Well, we're going to find out here. I'm not saying how long it's going to take, because this could be easily one of those 50, 60-minute games that we see. And right now, Cade, they're still sieging up here by the steps. That naked inhibitor, as is a naked anything, too tempting for them to go anywhere else. Wow. Wow, I don't know where that came from, but they're going in onto the inhibitor anyway. Already down to half HP, and that is the first inhibitor of the game for Cade. Amazing play.
And that's really, really good for them. They've only got a few seconds left of Baron, about 30 seconds, and they're going to run right for the top lane. Now, I'm going to hope for their sake. There we go. There's the ward. This is a very important ward right here. This allows them to look at a lot of the important jungle, because they can easily see LGIM come out of mid. They've got super minions to spot for them. This top lane is theirs, and look at LGIM. They are saying, yes, let's go up mid lane. We're going to force them back again. We know they fight better than us. We're going to stretch it back out and force another recall. And that is the strategic play that you're seeing sort of as a difference here. What a great move by the Koreans. They said, yes, they're doing all this stuff. They're knocking at our front door, but we can dive mid lane. They've got to react to us.
And now they're headed down towards this lower inner turret. They should, or will they be able to have it away? You see that Cade have come back very, very quickly into this one. Mylon again right at the front there. He's well tanky. If he wants to get involved, they need to be a little bit careful, because we've seen time and time again this Renekton has been so offensive with getting in their faces and destroying them.
And I love what he's done with his build, actually. And I think part of this is his play style, and part of this is the opposing team. They will not go for Renekton first. Their team is all in dive, and they're so good at diving, they can dive anyone. They don't have to hit the front line. So Renekton is going to largely be ignored. So what he's done is built Hex Drinker and a Brutalizer and Sunfire Cape instead of Warmugs, giving him more damage, allowing him to actually hit Paragon or hit Mid King or hit Lasha. Mylon's doing a much more damage-oriented build for a Renekton, and it's actually succeeding very well because of the enemy team.
You see, once again, Cade going to take the last outer turret that remains here in this game. And are they going to be forced to recall? Yes, they are. Once again, LGIM pushing them up middle. They didn't go any further than that inner turret position last time around. It was all about forcing them to back away and not push any of those inner turrets down. That's exactly what's going to happen again.
And with that, though, Cade has put themselves in the most turret kills of the game now. They finally just pushed those outer turrets down. That middle inhibitor, it's not doing a lot for them, but they've taken the outer turrets, then recalled back. Taken the outer turrets, recalled back. Them shoving mid like this gives them that breathing room, and this is going to be difficult. LGIM's looking for a brush bait.
They could do with some wolves, that's for sure. But what's going to happen here? Mylon and the rest of them, they're there. They're staying as a team. Can they react fast enough? There's a Cocoon, actually misses. The Void Spikes have missed as well. How is this one going to go down? Crescendo in towards Vulcan. Mid King taken already quite low. Mylon suffering the same fate though. There is the first kill of this one. Vulcan will dive in on towards Ring. He flashes away. We see Ezreal managing to get Elise, but is he going to have enough of a cleanup crew? Jump away again as the Q comes out from Jade. They're super low. They are super, super low. Good slow from Kelly. Flashing from Luke. Takes down Lasher at the end. Can Mid King get away? The Q. He jumps away. But again, a 2-for-1. Crazy stuff, Freak.
And there we go. Mylon actually just dove himself right in there. Took a lot of damage. Got killed. Oh, they're going to try to fight Paragon. They got him. The ward found him. They've killed the AD carry. And this gives them a 4-on-2 on the map. They pinged Baron, they pinged the inner turret. Inner turret, this could be an inhibitor for them.
Just looking at that Baron timer. It is at 27:33, the last takedown. I can hardly hear myself speak here. The Brazilian crowd going absolutely nuts for Cade's performance right now. They've got a decent amount of gold again. They're going to go home, get themselves all finished up. Yeah, that ward was just ridiculous.
That ward killed Paragon. 3 minutes, and it just timed out too. Like that was the last 5 seconds of that ward. I'm sorry, I just felt like talking about that ward. Please continue, Joe.
Well, you said it was an important ward when they put it down, and look what it turned out to be.
Soothsayer Freak.
We're going to do the lottery tonight together, and we're going to win.
All right.
Maybe not.
No, we got this.
We got it. We got it on lockdown. So let's have a look at the items now, because we may or may not have a bit of a quiet period. I mean,
quiet with this audience?
Look at its 400 gold difference. It's not even funny how close this game is after 35 minutes, and now Baron is being started off once again by Cade. What an incredible miracle going to do. They don't have Varus anywhere near it. If they fight now, they could end up being massacred. It's down to half HP. What's going to happen? They dive out on towards Ring. We see actually Xin Shao up on the top side. Lulu ulti to save Ring. Is he going to save him? No, it won't. 2 more going down here in surely a matter of seconds. Lilac trying to get away. Kazik jumps away. Lasher goes down. Here comes a slice and dice once again. Lilac will somehow get away from that one. He won't see Varus having the same fortune. And Mid King jumps back in and again doesn't quite work it out. And that will be a 5-for-3 ace coming down.
And they can go for the Nexus now. They've got 2 members alive. They've got super minions in the base. This could be Cade taking down. Oh, the inhibitor respawn! They have to kill the inhibitor first. They've got 15 seconds until Nocturne and Lulu come up. I don't know if it's going to be enough time. Rafis, he's trying to get his attack speed back up by hitting things with Mystic Shot. They've got 8 seconds. The turret's down to half.
Here we go then. What can Rafis actually do is giving the speed buff there to Luke. They've got the second Nexus turret down to half. Here comes the Nocturne ultimate. Rafis, are you going to ignore it? Are you going to keep going? Yes. Second Nexus turret goes down. Ring has managed to take down Sona. Can Rafis escape? That's a double buff that you don't want to lose. Arcane shift over the wall. He's still living.
He's going to get I don't know. Ring is maybe trying to give chase, but he might just defend the turret instead. He might survive this one. You got minions at the top. Yes. Yeah, you got minions flooding in everywhere because when the minions are in your base like that, There aren't any waves to go to the sides. You've seen every inner turret gone now. There is literally one turret left alive in LGIM's base. 2 inhibitors, 1 turret, 5 minutes of super minions coming down the mid lane. There is a very real possibility that Cade, I mean, they are winning. Yes, they are winning. This could be great for them.
But how is this going to go? Baron has been started again by LGIM. We have Snowls there. We have Mylon there. We have Vulcan there. We have the Ezreal ultimate coming in. He's getting down low. Can they steal for a 3rd time in a row? No, they decide not to go for it. Maybe a wiser choice this time around.
Okay, but that's going to kind of reset the game a little bit. Now the gold, neck and neck. With the Baron buff, LGIM is going to have a much closer team fight. We've seen, I think, 4 team fights in a row. Cade won. Cade have been winning team fights over and over and over and over again. And if you kind of just had them keep bashing heads against each other, you would see the same thing happen. However, now you have LGIM with Baron buff. That gives them, I think, the edge they need to say, we can fight equally. So the next fight's going to be very, very, very close. However, if Cade wins a fight, even by +1 member, they will win the game off of that. There is almost no chance that they can't close the game out with a single team fight win. The question is, does Cade look for that fight now? Do they get amped up, say, look, if we kill you, the inhibitor's down, we can close it, or do they wait the 4 minutes for Baron buff? Because LGIM are going to be afraid. They know they could lose this game. If they leave their base, they can get backdoored. There's still 3 minutes until the inhibitor comes back up. That Nexus will die to anyone backdooring it. Cade, honestly, they could go for an Oracle's like jungle sneak and just backdoor by jumping over the wall. There's a lot of opportunities here for Cade.
Well, what are they going to go for? Honestly, Freak, after these 38 minutes and 40 seconds, I have not got a clue what's going to happen towards the end of this one. 2 Baron steals already coming out from Cade. They were looking down and out after about 8 minutes, and now they've turned this one around. It looks like top lane is going to be the target. They want to get that second inhibitor down and out of the map to allow those super minions to really put the pressure on to LGIM. Nocturne is having to recall from this bottom lane. It's 10-4 in turrets to Cade. I still can't quite believe that I'm saying that, but they are pushing in for inhibitor number, well, I guess technically number 3, since the last one respawned right in front of them when they were looking for those Nexus turrets. This game could have been over if it wasn't for that.
If it weren't for that inhibitor, they would have won the game. That inhibitor is if LGIM wins, the inhibitor is the MVP of this game. That inhibitor respawn is the MVP if LGIM wins this one, because that saved them from losing here. But the siege is on. The difficulty being that they are still against that same Fed mid king, and they are against a Baron buff. So their poke will not last very long. There's so much regeneration coming out from Baron buff. This siege is going to be difficult. What they have on their side, though, is this giant minion wave must be answered. It will kill a Nexus by itself if they don't answer that. Cade are going to take away this golem buff. They've still got about a minute and a half left of an inhibitor down, and they have those 90 seconds to siege. If they can get something from that siege, they might close the game out. If they don't, they're going to have to wait till Baron is gone and look for another opportunity.
Cade once again coming in towards his top lane. The inhibitor is open again. Jace just spamming those Qs wherever possible. Every little bit of damage helping this siege that they can... they're trying to put down to getting onto that inhibitor. Up until now, though, LGIM doing a fantastic job of completely repelling everything that Cade have thrown at them in this top lane there by that inhibitor. Have they now got a chance, though? Because you've seen Lulu and Varus back away a little bit from that one. Have Cade got what it takes to take this one?
They certainly can. They certainly can. And you've got a Baron buff with only a minute left. Inhibitor coming back very, very soon. 1 minute, I don't know. They haven't put much headway at all in this inhibitor, and inhibitors regenerate health. So, I mean, the fact that they haven't done anything really major here and are still kind of waiting and hoping they can put out damage, they are just simply not able to siege. Let's watch this next wave. It'll get wave cleared just like the rest, and there is just no headway being made. And this could be a difficulty for Cade because they're just afraid. Look at that. Mid-King eviscerates the minion wave. Piercing arrow comes down. They need to actually win a fight to push, and you're seeing that here time and again. They have to actually win a fight to make these pushes work.
And we can see that on the minimap, everybody is going home for Cade. What do they have in terms of cash? Decent amounts to be spending, but at this stage of the game, we're pushing right up to there towards max builds. It's only 41 minutes in, Freak. It feels like at least a 60-minute game by now. That's how action-packed this one has been so far. Are they going to be able to do it here, Cade? They've done so much already in this match. I just hope from a neutral standpoint, I have to say, the comeback as a neutral here is just magical.
And you can't help but get kind of won over by this Brazilian crowd because they go absolutely crazy when things. They cheered because they started pushing top lane 2 minutes ago. They are just an immensely amazing crowd, and they've got a lot of chance here. Honestly, Cade and Brazilian esports in general, they're looking great. The siege is back. Baron buff is now gone, which helps Cade quite a bit. The thing is, I still don't think they can actually push through like this. I think they've got some good poke damage, and that's nice. But I don't know if they can completely push through.
Oh, actually, Mylon just started to work his way forward there to avoid Spike coming down, not doing super amounts of damage. You should note now that there is a Guardian Angel on mid-king as the thunder rumbles here overhead. Is that going to be a sign for this Cade team? Is it time to go for them? Well, doesn't look like it. Oh, Cocoon landing there onto Mylon. It's good damage, but again, Cade backing off.
I actually like the synergy with the weather that Cade has. They've got Shock Blast and a Static Shiv with a Thunderstorm overhead. I think they've got the elements in their favor.
The power is on their side.
The power is yours.
Hopefully the rain doesn't flood us out before we get to the end of this epic game. As Cade still trying to push, through, and still landing those Shock Blasts over and over from Snowballing. And this is something important. You mentioned it last time, and it actually got them more than just vision. It got them a kill at the end of a very big fight, and therefore the 2 Nexus turrets, these wards in the enemy side of the jungle, they're backing away down towards the Dragon Pit. Is that even worth it right now?
Dragon, no, because Baron's too close right now. Cade, honestly, they could switch gears, though. The siege has not been working. They can play the gold starvation game. We've seen teams try to win games this way, where they say, okay, we're ahead. We will take the jungle over and over and over again. We will take all the buffs. We'll take the gold from that. And we will stretch a gold lead by killing neutral monsters and get that 1.5 items ahead, and then turn that into the Baron fight, and then close the game with Baron. That, they've spent the last 6 minutes basically trying to siege unsuccessfully. They've now finally taken away their own red and blue buff. Baron, they know, is coming up. They need to grab an Oracles. They need to sweep all the wards. They need to bait LGIM into a really bad fight. Cade can do that. They have the team fight power. They have the gold to spend on the wards and on the Oracles. They just need to make that happen. The Oracles is there on Sona. They've got 2.5 minutes left on that. They've got a Ruby Sightstone. No other wards on their inventory, though. We'll see if that's going to be enough for them to starve out a Baron push.
The crowd is singing right now for Cade. I have never been part of such an amazing atmosphere here. You'd think there are at least 3 times as many people in that crowd. It's not that many. They're just unbelievably passionate here at the Intel Extreme Masters in Brazil. And right now we have that siege poke wall going around by the Baron. It's spawned in. Cade are going to start it off. The question is, what will LGIM be able to do about this one? Baron has not lost too much health. It's only Mylon who's going at it. There is the Shurelya's pop. They're going to go for it. They're going to go for the fight here. Big King dives in there. Ring is in the front as well. Rappers is doing a great job of kiting with that Iceborne Gauntlet. Ring going very low. Rappers, will he go down? Yes, finally. But Big King is there with Jace hammering away from them. That Guardian Angel is popped. Will he be able to jump away? Will he be able to finish off? No, he won't. Double kill for Renekton. That is a 3 for 1 in favor of Cade. Oh, 3 for 2 there just right at the end from Lasher.
And the damage output from Snowballing is so huge right now. This 3-on-2, this is going to be incredibly important. He's level 18. He's got that max hypercharge. He's going to eviscerate buildings. Look at how fast that inhibitor goes down. But they're low on health. They've got to be careful about this. If they don't close the game out here and they stay for too long, they could give away Baron. They're actually going to back off with just the inhibitor. 3 alive. They've got a little bit of sustain. Sona, not a lot of mana. They're not looking at Baron either. They don't see Mylon recalling. They're not going to pick that one up. Lash is going to head his way back out. No other major advantage picked up for Cade. Just the plus 400 gold for getting an extra kill in that fight. It's still neck and neck.
Loop just been denied his recall there. Snow's taking away as much as he can from the jungle. Loop's like, minions going through, I don't care. We've got super minions going the other way. They'll sort them out. The next focus for us is going to have to be around Baron. And
yes.
You just know that whoever comes out with an advantage now at 46 minutes into the game, those spawn times are so huge, it could be GG right there.
So Cade has like a 90% chance of getting Baron off of this because they're now in a beautiful situation because they've got super minions piling down mid lane and there are no turrets to stop that, which means if they sit there and just let minions fight minions, Cade will just win the game by default. So someone from LGIM has to defend the base at some point, and that base is very far from Baron. If Cade plays this right, and this is what they should do, they're shoving out the top lane minions, they try to shove down the bottom lane minions, and they just need to sit at Baron and make LGIM try to do something, because the minions will win them the game if they actually contest Baron.
And what they're doing here is starting off the Baron. What are they going to do? Peel off instantly there. Shurelya's Reverie is popped by
They don't
Sona.
need to fight.
Will they go in? No, as you say, they don't need to fight. They can just hold them right here. They either give up Baron or they let those minions go straight through. But look at Cade's positioning. They're going straight down that middle lane.
They've got to recall now.
They're going to go for this one. They've got to recall. Have they got time for this one? Cade are rushing into the base. They've not got time to recall. There are no Nexus turrets left. The Nexus is open. They can't come through. They've won the game. We spoiled the game, but they've won the game anyway. An amazing, amazing performance on this one. They're fighting in the base at the end, but it doesn't matter. The crowd going wild. And bursting blood vessels.
I think the crowd is talking for us there. It was actually, that fight looks like a 5-0 ace. You can see them on your screen. Ridiculous comeback. Amazing, amazing job by them. Jumping around on screen. The Brazilians going nuts for them. That is a very, very, very well-deserved win. Cade, 1-1 in the group.